Okay, guys, when you're ready, we'll start with Sky Sports News.
Very good to see you, mate.
Hello, you okay?
Yeah, good thing.
Good.
How's it been for you? How's it felt since you joined up on Saturday? With the team arriving, the rest of the squad signing up before you, I wonder whether it was a bit strange for you to come in a little bit later.
No, it's been fine. I think obviously we have 3 weeks prior to heading out, so still plenty of time for me. And obviously with us being in the final, was training that extra week anyway. So I think as well as getting together with the group as soon as possible, which is beneficial. I think as well it's just a matter of keeping fit, and we was able to do that an extra week compared to the other boys. So it's been fine. Dropped straight back in, enjoyed 2 days training, and felt good.
I heard a couple of suggestions that you were quite shocked when Southgate called you. Is that right? What actually happened when the manager rang?
No, I wouldn't say shocked. I think like everybody else was competing for a place in the squad and waiting to hear the news. So the news came, he phoned me. Actually, I didn't answer straight away just because I missed the call. He left me a voicemail just to say that it's not always bad news when he phones up. So I called him straight back and had a good conversation, and obviously, yeah, I was delighted to find out that I was involved in the squad.
You missed the call. That's not one to miss, is it?
No, probably not one to miss, to be honest with you, but it was what it was. And of course, when I found out, when I managed to get to my phone, I called him straight back. So again, like I said, delighted to hear the news.
When you missed out in the last squad back in March, did you think that was your World Cup chance gone?
No, I didn't. I felt like it had took a knock. Missing out on that squad, especially the last squad just before you meet up, was kind of a big squad to miss out on. So I realised that maybe it took a little knock, and I really had to dig deep to try and perform from then to the end of the season to get myself back in the frame. And that's the way it's worked out. So of course, last time I was disappointed. There was a lot going on at that moment in time, and I missed the squad. But I never had or didn't have the belief that I could make the squad.
How much resolve did you have to show? To win your place back with the Chelsea side as well, but did you have an eye, even when you were doing that, on trying to get back into this England squad?
Yeah, of course. I think first and foremost, I needed to get my place back in Chelsea. I needed to get back out on the pitch, because I've always said it's very difficult. It's very frustrating as well that when you don't play regularly, and I've been lucky enough to do that majority of my career, that's where you influence things. That's where you can influence decisions, good and bad. Of course, if you're in bad form and you're coming into bad form, or you're not playing so well towards the end of the season, maybe that jeopardises being in the squad. But if you're not out there on the pitch, you can't influence anything. And I know I'm capable of influencing it when I'm playing. I have that belief, and it was a matter of, like I said, first and foremost, getting back in the Chelsea team. And we had a huge end to the season with the cup final coming up. So, if I'm totally honest, that was all that was in my head. And I knew that if I performed well from then to the end of the season, I'd be in with a shout, just like I said earlier, with the rest of the boys who was competing for 23 places.
Big end to the season for you and for Chelsea, as you say. How much did that give you a boost? Was there any damage to your confidence, or did that just boost it on that little bit more?
No, I think naturally if you go through ups and downs, I try to, when I'm playing well and things are going successful and you're winning things, then it's great. But I try not to get too carried away with that. Likewise, I try not to get too down when things aren't going so well. It's football. It's a bit like a roller coaster, but I've always said when you average it out over the period of years, you get a good average, and you get to see what level you're at and where you are. And like I said, I felt like I could get back to the level that I should be at, and thankfully I felt like I did that. But in terms of confidence, I think sometimes when you're not playing, it gets knocked a little bit. But you just have to look at your character then and work even harder and get yourself back to the level you should be at.
How difficult for you has the uncertainty about the manager's future been?
It's been a strange season. Obviously, there's been a lot of speculation for many months now, but I think the season's I know the season's finished. It finished on a high for us. We won a major trophy. So that was a great end for everybody, for the fans, for the players and for the staff. And what will be this summer will be. I mean, as players, we have no influence over that, and I'm sure you'll get the answers to your questions. I'm sure in the next month or so.
Do you want Antonio Conte to stay?
Listen, he's been good for me. I've took things from him like I have the rest of the managers. I've enjoyed the success we've had together, and like I said, he's been great. It's difficult because you see the speculation for so many months now. It's difficult in some ways, but again, like I said, the only aim for us, for the manager, for the players, was to work collectively together to finish the season very well, i.e. win the cup, and we managed to do that together. So, 2 major trophies up to now with the manager. It's been good.
I gather the team all watched the Champions League final together on Saturday night, just after you had arrived. You've played in some big games yourself and won an awful lot of them, let's be honest, but there's been times where there's been disappointment for you. How do you expect Trent Alexander-Arnold and Jordan Henderson to cope with that? Is there a role for you, maybe, and the rest of the players to lift them when they come back now?
Yeah, I think they'll cope with it in their own ways. I think it's obviously disappointing to lose the final, but it's a great achievement to get there in the first place. I'm sure they'll draw from them experiences in the future. I think, like you said, I've been lucky enough to win the trophies. I've also lost finals as well, and it's a horrible feeling. But it does, in the long term, make you stronger and test your character. And in difficult moments in the future, you'll be able to pick from them. And hopefully for them guys, I'm sure they're at a great age. The pair of them will go on and win some trophies as well. So it's disappointing for them. They'll have a week to reflect and come back, I'm sure, with another goal now.
Have you or any of the lads spoken to them?
No, not as yet. I'm sure they're spending time with the family, which is probably the best place to be. Like I said, off the back of a disappointment, but you have to look at the positives of them reaching the final, which is not very easy to do. And they performed very well, the pair of them in there. So, credit to them. Of course, they're disappointed they've lost. But like I said, they've got 6 days now to get away with the families and kind of take a step away from football, refresh their head more than anything, and then come back ready, like I said, for another massive goal. Because at this level, it never stops. And you've got another challenge in front of you now.
You've been involved in so many England squads, under many different managers as well. Does this one feel different in any way?
It feels like there's more experience, even though it's a young group from 2 years ago. Like you just said, them sort of experiences, reaching the final Champions League and the City lads winning the title and things like that. There's more experience there. There's more experience in bigger games. A lot of the English teams went reasonably far in the Champions League this year, and all these experience add to be able to handle, I'm sure, the pressures that's going to be in the World Cup. But apart from that, it's been a good build up. It's been a great squad at the minute to be involved in. Like I said, I've only been here a couple of days, but everyone's buzzing, as you would expect. But we know that the business is really to come, and this is the preparation. So we prepare well, enjoy these couple of weeks and get ready for the serious business.
You say there's experience, but nobody in this squad has ever won a World Cup match, which is a horrible stat to throw at you. But is that an issue?
I think in the time that I've been playing for England, the qualification, the friendlies, even the games against the bigger teams have been fine. We've cruised through qualification, many times in the last few years, and then the tournament comes, which has proved to be difficult for whatever reason. I'm just going there with such a. I feel like I'm going there personally in such a positive frame of mind and no nerves, just excitement to go over there. I'm desperate for it to be a success and to try and make the nation proud and come back having a good experience in a tournament, which is something which I've missed. And like you've just said, with that stat, quite a few of the other boys have as well. So that's, again, like I said, that's a goal for us. That's something that that's missing, and it's something that we need to work extremely hard to try and achieve in these coming weeks.
Last one from me. You're the most experienced player in this squad, 58 caps. You've been around tournaments a lot, and it strikes me there's a real mix of boredom, maybe an awful lot of time to kill, mixed in with periods of real pressure and real intensity. How do you advise the younger players that maybe haven't experienced that before? How do you tell them to deal with it?
I think it's a great preparation. I think being in England and preparing in England under the environment that we're under is great preparation for us. And I say that because it's the norm, it's the normality of being in England. It's you know, even if we get a day or two in between training to maybe go back home or see the families or see the kids or whatever it may be, it's kind of, that's your normality. That's you kind of break away from football, which helps to ease the pressure of such an intense, or can be an intense atmosphere. I think around the training ground and in the hotel, it's a relaxed, it's a good atmosphere. The lads are superb and they get on really well. But like I said earlier, the business end is yet to come when we go over there, and I've been involved in it again. It kind of closes in again in terms of the pressure. I just advise the younger lads to go out and enjoy it the best they can and do what they've been doing. That's got them in a 23-man squad out of all the players in England to go and represent the country. But apart from that, the preparation to prepare well, you know, fitness-wise, etc. But also take that step away from football and not get too caught up in everything.
Gary, when you got the phone call and you knew you'd missed it and you had to either listen to the message or ring back, when you saw the number initially, did you think, I'm not in, I'm in? What did you think?
I thought potentially it could be bad news, because normally when, in my experience since I've been involved with England for about 7-8 years, you usually don't get the call. You just kind of receive the information that you're going to meet up, etc., and what times and all the rest of it. So to get the call was a different way. And yeah, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit nervous when I was listening to it. But like I said, I was delighted to be involved in another tournament for my country.
Do you expect this to be your last major tournament with England?
Who knows what the future holds, potentially. Who knows? Who knows what the future holds? You never quite know how the next year or two is going to go. But potentially, and I don't look 2 years ahead. I look right now, and right now I'm preparing for a massive tournament. Proud to be a part of, like I said, the national team, and I'm going there just fully focused on this one and see if we can do well over there.
There must be an element of satisfaction internally, because if you look at the squad, it seems to be going for younger players. When you got left out in March, the squad seemed to be going towards younger players, and you battled back and you've got in the squad. That must be satisfying, I would have thought.
Yeah, it is. Personally, very much so, yeah. And I know, like I said earlier, I always believed that I could make the squad, providing I play and get back to the level I should be at. And like I said, I did. The last month, 6, 7, 8 weeks, finished with the victory in the final, which was an unbelievable feeling. Put myself in a situation to be in contention. Like I said, just like with the other boys, there's a lot of quality in my position. There's a lot of very good young players coming through. And I'm sure England as a national team are building as well, not just for this tournament, but for the next and the next. I'm just delighted to be involved in this, and I feel that I've still got a lot to offer.
You've played every game of the last 2 major tournaments. It'd be fair to say that England probably have not done themselves justice in either. Can you put your finger on why that's happened and what you need to do to change that this time?
It's always a question I always think I'm not quite sure why. When you look at other nations and you think, what do they do differently? I'm not quite sure. They have a winter break, that's one. But aside from that, it's very difficult to put your finger on. I think, like I said, you have opportunities in life, and you have opportunities to try and better the bad experiences that you've been through. And like you've said, I haven't. The last 2 tournaments have been disappointing. To come back with that feeling is not nice, and I really don't want that again. I've got the belief in the squad that we can go and do well. But time will tell. Let's wait and see. We prepare well and get ready to go over there in confidence and not be nervous.
Just finally from me, is that game against Iceland, there won't be any, I don't know, mental scar almost when you go on the pitch and there's a lot of the same players. They're not going to be kind of constrained by what happened that day when you go into another tournament, or is that a danger?
Again, it depends on your personality and your character. I'm sure if you're asking me that question now, I won't even think about that while I'm over there. I will in the aspect of of not wanting to feel that feeling again, which will just make you even more determined to try and do well. That game was so frustrating. We had, the ball for unbelievable amounts of possession, and we never created anything with it, which was so frustrating. It took a long time to kind of get over that. But again, the experience of being involved in that, maybe we do things slightly different in that situation now. But listen, that we're harp on about the past. We're looking at the future, and we're looking at this tournament and going into this with a positive frame of mind. I think that's the key for everybody that's an England fan or yourselves, to go in with a positive attitude, and let's see how far we can go.